Well, ladies and gentlemen, many people have asked me over the years, why don't you live stream? Well, there are numerous reasons why I never do live streams, and I'm going to give you the reasons now. The first one, I have a component cable that goes into the back of my PlayStation 2 and goes into a converter. Now that component cable is perfectly functioning fine as long as it's in a very specific position. Now if it moves from that position, it creates a loud buzz, and let me tell you, that buzz is so loud and disorientating that I think even a family of wasps would fly away at the terror of hearing this buzzing. There's not only that, there's the fact that my computer's fine, it does work technically, but sometimes I have trouble just recording audio. Last night you might notice that Title Tuesday was up a little bit late. I was planning on doing it for 10 PM my time and then the second match at 12 AM, but well, that didn't work because for some reason I could only record about 30 seconds of audio before my computer crashed, so that was out the window. Then the capture card does work sometimes, but sometimes it just decides to glitch, and obviously my computer being as bad as it is, sometimes it's very, very rare that it'll allow me to record through a microphone and gameplay footage at the same time, and even if it does, it's going to have all sorts of problems. Well, that's what happened here. I had a great idea. I thought, why not do kind of a live stream but without it actually being live, and pre-record it and just hit play on the microphone, hit record on the capture card, and maybe do an hour of just some random matches, and you know, to celebrate, to thank everybody out there for getting us to 1,000 subscribers. But as this channel works, it wouldn't be a video on this channel if it didn't end in disaster. And after about 20 minutes of this live stream, all hell broke loose. I was talking into the microphone, there was nothing coming up on the screen. The capture card was working. Now I could have edited it after. I was planning on adding a bit of reverb and a bit of music in, which I'm going to do, but I mean, I just didn't feel like recording the video and then voicing it after. It kind of defeated the object of doing a live stream. So for anybody that's wanted to see me attempt to do a live stream that's not live but having it abruptly end after 20 minutes because all of my technology fails, well, today is your lucky day, because here is the live stream that completely failed, and I thought I'd still upload it because somebody might get some sort of pleasure out of it, but I think I'm going to end my live streaming career after this monumental hiccup, unless one day I actually get some money and get a decent computer and get decent technology. But until then, this is the closest thing you'll ever get to me doing a live stream, and despite it being a complete disaster, I still want to thank everyone for 1,000 subscribers. I've still got some good videos coming along the way. It's been pretty hectic recently, but I'm going to try and really knuckle down, and any spare time I get, I'm going to try and put it into getting some videos out and getting my schedule back on track. So thank you to everyone that subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, I'll still thank you for watching the channel. And here is the failed live stream. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for 1,000 subscribers, and I actually thought I'll do a live stream to celebrate and just play a few matches, but unfortunately my computer will not tolerate that. I mean, it barely tolerates me recording audio and video at the same time. So what I thought I'd do, as you know, I've worked through the list of WWF from 88 to 92. Well, I've actually been working through that and I've created some of the movesets and the entrances. I've kind of done part 1, I've got 30 done, I've probably got another 90 to go, but nonetheless, I'm just going to play a few matches with this. We're going to go back to the 80s here for a special live stream that isn't live. I've got one controller in, and I'm just going to play a few matches with some of the superstars that have been created, and hopefully before 2088 I'll have all of these done and available for people that want them for download for the PS2 emulator, maybe even PSP. We're going to get started now with our first match. I'm going to do a little bit of, maybe add a little bit of reverb for the ring announcing. But apart from that, and maybe a little bit of music, I'm just going to call it on the fly here. Our first match, we're going to see some of the superstars that have been created. I'm going to start out with the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, accompanied to the ring by his son Dustin. There he is, and he's going to be taking on Canada's Strongest Man, Dino Bravo. I've got no Frenchy Martin. I'll put him with Jimmy Hart. Why not? Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. We've got to do it in the WrestleMania 9 arena. It's the closest thing to the 80s WWF. And let's get ready with the first match. Of course, I am going to be working through some creator wrestlers tonight. I'll be honest, life's been a little bit hectic away from YouTube at the moment, so you might notice my schedule's gone down a little bit. You might notice I've not been uploading as many creator wrestler formulas, maybe not as many matches as usual. I'm going to try and kind of catch up. And tonight I'm going to have a little bit of time. I'm going to get as many created as I can. Hopefully when I get ahead, I can get WWF Vice City finished. The failed follow-up to GTA Vice City, WWF Vice City. It's going to have Hulk Hogan, Jake Roberts, Ultimate Warrior, Tommy Vercetti. It's going to have an all-star cast for that. But nonetheless, let's get to the ring for our first match.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, coming down the aisle, being accompanied by his manager, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Hailing from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, he weighs in tonight at 248 pounds, Canada's strongest man, Dino Bravo.
Dino Bravo, a man with a very strange physique. He was sort of fat and muscular at the same time. Very, very impressive. A physique that we've not seen in professional wrestling for a long time. I'll tell you what, those 80s horse steroids really created some impressive physiques. But nonetheless, Dino Bravo, Canada's strongest man, going to take on an American icon here tonight in the centre of that ring. Going to have to be at the top of his game here. Facing not only an icon, but a legend of the sport. Very impressed with his physique there. What's a George Zahorian, allegedly very instrumental in that physique. Bolstered there by Dino Bravo. I'm going to skip this, it's taking forever. Keep forgetting it's not pre-recorded. Nonetheless, here comes his opponent.
Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, coming down the aisle accompanied by his son Dustin, hailing from Austin, Texas, and weighing in tonight at 275 pounds, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, is what I'd do if I was doing a very bad impression. Former NWA World Champion, a man that despite being dressed in polka dots still captured the heart and the imagination of fans. Didn't make Sapphire. I'm thinking of all these people have missed out off the WWF 88 to 92 list. Sapphire I did not create. Would anybody be setting fire to the computers, enraged that Sapphire was not created to accompany Dusty Rhodes to the ring? Let me know in the comments. Could always make Sapphire if somebody's that upset about it. But nonetheless, two large men here. Dino Bravo, the powerhouse, taking on Dusty Rhodes. I'm not used to it loading. This is real uncharted territory for me. You can see why I edit this out now. My God, how games... I'll tell you what, I love this game, but how games have come a long way when it comes to loading. Any minute now that screen will come up, yes. Of course, the anniversary of SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 is coming up. I believe it was November 2005, the 20th anniversary. I may do a little video on the game. But nonetheless, the two men in the ring. Dino Bravo going right after the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Nice reversal by Dusty. Well, this is really... I don't know what the difficulty setting is on this, but I'll tell you what, Dino Bravo reversing everything at the moment. Maybe I need to stab this down. It might be the first 60-minute long match we've ever had on the channel. It's Dino Bravo with an aggressive start. Look at this though, Dusty with a roll-up, trying to get a quick victory over Canada's strongest man. Well, not quite. Bravo managing to get the shoulders up there. Yeah, this difficulty level is really unbelievable. May end up being a 3-hour stream, but look at the right hands to the face. Dusty Rhodes, primarily a brawler, with lefts and rights right to the face of Dino Bravo as Jimmy Hart looks on the apron. Not happy with that, but look at that, a low blow. Tries to pull back attack. Dusty Rhodes ducking. Now try to go for a move. Beautiful arm drag there by the American Dream. Dusty must be very, very proud of his father. Stood on the apron watching the action, and thus far Dusty Rhodes has been the dominant athlete. Look at this front face block applied. Very simple, very elementary move, but enough to wear a man down. Dino Bravo in a lot of trouble here. Is Dusty going to let him get to his feet? Tries picking him up. Another low blow. Look at that, tries the kick. Dusty catching. Now sending Dino Bravo for the ride off the ropes. Completely mistiming the move. A mistake by Dusty. Now sending Dino Bravo for the ride once again. Big time back body drop. Oh, and look at Dusty go now. Feeding off the energy of this capacity crowd. And as I said, I've done movesets. I've done entrances for all of these superstars, and I hope to do it with the entire list in the end. And what a thunderous superplex right off the top rope by the American Dream. He's really pulling out all the stops here to try and get this victory on the non-live stream. Dino Bravo trying to fight back. Oh, I've got the stamina system turned on as well. Should have turned that off. Tries the waist lock. Elbows from behind by the American Dream. Dusty Rhodes as he goes behind, and now a sleeper hold applied. Could this be enough to put the strongest man in the history of the Canadian nation? Maybe not. Dusty Rhodes needs to take a breather though. His stamina not up to scratch. Dino Bravo now going to work on the American Dream with a series of strikes. Collar and elbow tie up now. What's he going to go for? I think maybe trying the pile driver, but Dusty Rhodes managing to get out of that maneuver. And buys himself a second to get his breath back. A big thunderous clothesline. Dusty on fire here, now going to the top rope. Not something to see for him too much. What was his finisher? Can't remember what it is. I always thought it was the elbow, but obviously not. Dino Bravo now taking a breather, taking a rest, because he knows that Dusty Rhodes was very close to getting the victory there. What the fuck have I set as his finisher? We'll never find out. Trying to put him down. Dusty blocking the right hand. Is it from behind? Oh, we'll never find out now. Maybe this is it. No, it's not. It's not from behind either. I can't remember. Have I missed his finisher out? And a roll up now by Dusty Rhodes. Maybe he doesn't need to hit his finisher. Shoulders down, but no. Dino Bravo has found himself in that maneuver a couple of times now, and he's not going to fall for it again. Now Dusty Rhodes sends him into the corner. It's not from the corner either. What is... I always thought his finisher was the... Oh, I know what it is. Right, I think I know what it is. I think he's got a... Right, yeah. I remember now. And a big thunderous kick to the ribs as Dusty Rhodes sliding the ring. A steel chair into the ring. He might not get to use it now. Dino Bravo got to work on the leg. Look at this, removing that protective turnbuckle pad. Dusty trying to baseball slide. He's going to have to get back in the ring and contend with the American Dream again. Now Dusty Rhodes right hand to the face. Tries a move. Dino Bravo turning him around. He's going for the striking. Maybe the best course of action here. Look at this back and forth stuff here between these two men. Dusty trying to get him on the ground to maybe hit his finisher, but he's not been given the opportunity yet. And this could end up being the longest match in the history of the channel, and now sent spine first right into that exposed turnbuckle. Dino Bravo cheating here and doing it very, very well. Well, Dusty falling right for the trap there. And now Dustin getting involved from the outside. Should really be a disqualification. Trying to figure out what my finishing move is, Dustin. He's getting in the way. Well, maybe he's going to go for the count out here. This match has gone on long enough. We're at the count of 6 now. He's got a clothesline. It's not from there either. What the? It's got to be a move off the top rope. Maybe a double axe handle. Maybe an elbow off the top. Nobody knows. Right, maybe try it now. No, it's not off the top rope either. What the fuck is his finisher? No, it is on the ground. I thought it might have been an elbow off the ground, but it wouldn't let me. Now maybe it will. I said it as the people's elbow. I suppose Dusty Rhodes didn't really have a... I think he's used the crossbody off the top before. I think the elbow's his signature move. But nonetheless, Dusty Rhodes in the American Dream elbow. His famous move. The leg is hooked, the shoulders down, don't kick out, and he doesn't. Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, your winner here, finally.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Well, thank God that's over. I think I may need to mess about with the difficulty level a little bit, because it might not even be set that high, you never know. I don't think it was set above medium or whatever the... Nonetheless, that match is over. It's going to be tag team action next. If it's going to go wrong, this is where it will happen. And as far as I know, we've not had any problems with the technology yet, which is a miracle. No, we're not saving it. Let's go to options. It's only set to normal. I will keep it at normal. Problem is, because I simulate matches, you always have it set to easy, and then if AI comes into play I can beat them up quite easily, but I'm going to keep it at normal. Hopefully the matches won't be too long. Too used to filming squash matches for the channel. But up next, ladies and gentlemen, the African Dream Akeem and the Big Boss Man are going to be taking on one of the most legendary tag teams of all time, certain Hall of Famers. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen, because the Twin Towers, a very unfortunate name the way that has aged, but the Twin Towers are going to be taking on the legendary Bushwhackers. Oh yes. Right, WrestleMania 9 Arena again. And then we have to wait for it to load, which I'm not used to doing. Normally I wander off. I just think about the world in my head. A legendary tag team battle is about to happen here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A dream match for the ages. Oh, come on. Doesn't really bother me when I'm recording videos because I can just wander off while it's loading, but can't do it at the moment. And I think the more creative wrestlers you use, the longer it takes to load, so this is why it's taking a long time, but here we go. Let's get to the ring for our next contest, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is scheduled for 1 fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, weighing in tonight at a combined weight of 780 pounds, the team of Akeem the African Dream and the Big Boss Man, the Twin Towers.
Oh, the Twin Towers not dancing to the ring today because there isn't such an animation, of course. Very, very limited. One of the most devastating and deadly tag team forces in the history of the WWF. Two wrecking machines. Certainly not getting a warm reception here from this capacity crowd. Of course, their opponents tonight, one of the all-time favourites, grown-ups and kids alike.
Ladies and gentlemen, their opponents. Weighing in tonight at a combined weight of 496 pounds and hailing from New Zealand, Luke and Butch, the Bushwhackers.
Or anyone else lick children. They'd be called weirdos, but these men branded as heroes because of that. Different times back then. But nonetheless, Luke and Butch, the Bushwhackers, making their signature entrance to the ring. I'm ready to do battle here. Can they demolish the twin tap? No, I can't do that. Can't do that. Can they beat Akeem and the big boss man? We're about to find out. Let's skip that. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the loading screen, something which you'd all be familiar with. Maybe I should keep it in. I can't stand it to start with. Trying to think of other stuff I've got coming up on the channel, of course. You saw it last night. I mean, that was really shocking scenes last night at Title Tuesday. If you haven't seen it, I won't spoil it for you, but well worth looking at. And of course there may be rematches, repercussions from that, but maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later. Nonetheless, tag team action. Only one controller, what can go wrong? That's the African Dream Akeem trying to get an early head start on Butch. Well, it seems to be working at the moment, a Mongolian chop. Now Akeem sends him for the ride off the rope, picks him up. Thunderous back body drop by the African Dream. Not quite sure which region of Africa he's from. I just know it's the deepest, darkest parts. Oh, look at this though. Butch with a back elbow. Going to work on the one-man gang. Formerly the one-man gang. He's really having a tough time here. You can tell I don't play this game properly much anymore. Too used to having two controllers to control both participants, but he ducks that elbow. Now tries the Irish whip. Another reversal by Butch. I think it's Butch. Oh, but look at that. Completely flatlined there by Akeem. Now he sends him into the corner, hoping to get. Well, maybe not. Fucking hell, you could at least sell it. No, he's not having it. He's going into business for himself here. It's Butch. I'll tell you what, if you'd done this back in the 80s, maybe there'd have been no Hulk Hogan. Big stomp to the gut there by the Bushwhacker Butch. And now right hands right to the face. And now he gets the tag into Luke. The one with slightly more hair and I think he has less tattoos or more tattoos. Look at this sunset flip. Goes for the cover. Not going to put the big man away like that. And now Akeem feels embarrassed. And look at this power. Hands around the throat. Slams his head right into the back of the canvas. And now maybe Luke will let him tag him in and actually do a bit of double team work. There we go. The double team. In comes the boss man. Boss man probably the more athletic of these two men, but still a very large man at about 300 pounds. Sends him off the rope, ride for the ropes. Fumbling with words up again. Tries picking him up on a low blow by Bushwhacker Luke. Irish whip sending the boss man off the ropes. Big right hand. And he sends him tumbling down to the canvas. And now look at this, the big swing. Well, the Bushwhackers really putting up much more of a fight than we'd hoped. Maybe an upset victory here and now getting the tag to Butch again. They're doing the smart thing, going for regular tags, and look at that high knee. Not even the legal man. Complete disaster here for the twin tap. Nah, not touching that one again. We just call him Akeem and the big boss man. And now the Bulldog. Definitely can't talk about disasters with the Twin Towers. Why couldn't he be called like the, don't know, the giant squids or something? We could have still used the name. At least I can still talk about Chris Benoit. Nothing's changed in that. As now the big boss man sends him into the corner. Kick to the guts, and now the big man, the big 400-pound Hakeem, the African Dream, really going to work on Butch here. I think it's Butch. I think it is Butch, yeah. Hakeem, a man on a roll, sends him for the ride off the ropes, gets the referee by mistake, saves it by just knocking him down. Trapezius hold here, going for the submission, but in comes Luke breaking that hold up. Once again, not the legal man. Referee really needs to gain control. Where's he got that SmackDown top from? It's supposed to be the 80s. And look at that, the 400 pounds just driven right into him. And that's really messed his stamina up as well, having to run that far. Tries the big boot. Well, Hakeem's got a finisher charged. But he might not get to use it here. Break to the back. Well, it was going to be time to go home, but maybe not. If you're a big fan of matches that go a lot longer than they should, you've tuned into the right video here today, ladies and gentlemen. As he gets the tag now to Hakeem, who's now lost his finisher. Might not need it here though. Big boss man trying a double T move, but Hakeem having none of it. Nice vertical suplex by the African Dream. Well, and look at this. To recover. My phone's getting me notifications, you can probably hear that.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, King going out to break the count. He wants to win it in the ring. That may have been a mistake though. Knocks him down. Nails the big splash. Referee not counting the useless tool. And allowing Luke to come back in and break up that count. Oh, come on. Well, Butcher's gone to the outside of the ring once again. And look at this combination. He's jiving. That's what I should have done with Dusty Rhodes. Why didn't I do that with him? I think now my audio's messing up. I can't see it appearing on the screen.
4,
Well, of course. Is it still working?
5.
The little line's moving, but it's just got a red symbol. This is probably going to be a silent bit of the stream. Yeah, this isn't good. Don't mind the odd dropout, but
1.
not like a minute long one. As now Butch making his way back into the ring. Hakeem